Compute meeting. Hi everyone, and thank you. Welcome to a community meeting. Um, so first of all, if there's anyone who want to introduce himself themselves, feel free. Take the stage. All right, let's get to the agenda then. So I see that the first item is from Anand. Can you please
Hello.
speak to this?
Yeah, hello. Yeah. This is about PR to backporting to 1.6 release. This is one of the architecture configuration. So it is already merged in the main branch. We want to make it part of the 1.6 release or 1.6.1. So is it possible to merge this one? Because it is in all XPR, I think it kept in a hold because there's some minor changes related to the CRD. Uh, Yeah, I sent the mail regarding about explaining about this one because this feature is working partially because with a hard coded value in the code. Um, yeah, this is just to I add to avoid that feature hard coded value. I added this one. Yeah, my question is it so can we consider as a bug and some exception for this and uh, so that you can merge it part of the 1.6 release?
It's a difficult question. In general, I would say that we only backward bug fixes. And right now we're looking at the 1.6 release, and it's not very stable. Adding
Mhm.
more to this release, I would say no. In general, we need a request for an exception ahead of time. Um, and usually we would backward some kind of a critical issues or security issues.
Okay.
And this, from what I see here, this change also introduces API changes.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, which is also contribute to um, my reluctance of saying
Mhm.
that this is not backportable at this point at all, at least.
Yeah, okay. But I understand that. But is it, can we consider the 1.6.1 after that? But maybe not this release, the next minor release.
1.6.1. So I mean, this still would have to be part of the 1.6 release, or uh, I don't know,
Yeah,
Lubo, can you help me?
Yeah. I think that as as per how it now goes with 1.6, we're applying a stricter policy with backwards because there were much instabilities that we observed. And what you're asking for 161 is basically the same backward.
uh, okay.
I would
Mhm.
prefer maybe to do some takeaways. How won't it happen in the future? I mean, what was missed and how did it happen? It was like behind schedule to do that retro, and for the next time, just if possible, to make it happen on time.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
And I agree
Uh,
with Igor. By the way, if there would be a very strong reasoning, API change is possible, but the problem is that this is only for completeness as far as I see. And there is no really operational, problems that can be caused by not backporting this. So that's why I'm also leaning towards to just let it be in the 1.7.
This is mainly for self-preservation reasons that we are not willing to do these backports. We have lots of stability issues, and we need to stabilize before the release gets out. And yeah, unfortunately, I would say no.
Yeah. Totally, I totally understand that. Yeah.
So I think there were two questions here. One, I think towards the GA, that because we are in code freeze at the moment and we only accept blockers, that's clear cannot be backport. Even fixes for specific feature will probably not be accepted at the moment. So, but I didn't understand the answer for towards the 1.61. That's not about stability anymore, more or less. Like if this is an enum, if I did understand correctly. So the question is if the enum is requested because it was missed, what is it even possible, and what needs to happen in order to get an exception or stuff like that? I guess that's the question. So the answer was no, or I didn't understand.
Yes, the answer was basically no, because this seems to be for completeness and not really for a bug.
But for example, it could be okay. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not arguing. I don't want to argue about that one. But for example, if 1.6 was supposed to support one architecture and it didn't succeed because something specific it was missed, then you could consider it's something incomplete. It depends if 1.6 was supposed to fully support that architecture, right or wrong.
So we can run multiple potential scenarios and questions, but let's focus on what it is.
Okay, so it was already examined and the answer is no.
I believe so, yes.
I think there was a mail thread, and we also commented on the PR. I just think that these kind of issues can be avoided instead of dealing with them later. We know the timelines. We know how much trouble do we get in order to make a release and then test it. So I think that we just need to be mindful. That's all.
Okay.
Do you have
nothing in the agenda?
You want to open this up, or like I don't know. I feel like this is enough said about the topic.
Yes, if there is any talks about it, I think it can be done offline. At the moment, this is the answer, and if there's a need to have more discussion, probably it should be done offline.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. All right. Any other topics on the regular agenda?
Hi, I wanted to chime in here. I haven't updated in the agenda. I just want to raise a thought about the support for the Infinite Band and NVLink devices. So we are working on some support to pass through the IB and NVLink to the VMs for the tenanted customer to use inside the VMs. So I think there are some gaps between the current VMI APIs and the solutions. For example, when we parse through the devices, it only uses sRLV as a driver in the domain APIs. That's causing some problems to configure the IB devices in the configuration loop in the Virt handler, because the IB devices is completely different than the Ethernet devices that can need you running in the TCP/IP stack. Instead, the IP devices has to be configured in a different way, something like centralized. So it doesn't have the IP stack. So we wanted to introduce new APIs to identify or separate the IB and NVLink devices from other Ethernet interfaces in the VM spec domain. Is that possible? Or is there any concern about that?
So you're talking about introducing the IP stack information as part of the VM spec?
Yeah.
I think this is like a very old subject that we always try to defer, but it exists now and comes from actually many sources. The classic argument against introducing it was that VMs, we would like to keep them at layer 2, like not say anything about the IP stack and up, because it's like once we introduce an IP API in the VM spec itself, then we need to own it all the way, and we are not at that layer. However, because there are many requests coming in, actually, I think there is one of the requests, and maybe there will be a VEP. I don't know if already is here. The intention was to have a VEP that
Yes.
will introduce how can that happen, like how to request a specific IP to be assigned to a specific interface of the VM. But there is like pros and cons where to put it. So, and there are multiple alternatives. So I hope that for the web list for version 1.7, this web will appear in the coming weeks. So maybe Aurel will be able to share it and send an email about it being available, and then you can have a look. What will that do? Or do you have already a web that you want to prepare?
Yeah, I think there are two parts. So the first one, we wanted to specifically handling the IB interfaces in the spec. So that's the which expose the VMI be aware of the this device is a IB device. The second thing is we wanted to use the QMU guest agent to do some configuration check inside of the VM to be sure the IB devices is configured correctly. For example, associated with proper partitions. So this information need to be poured inside of the VM, and I wanted to export out to the VM spec, VM status. So the currently the interfaces the interfaces status exposing the VMI status doesn't cover the IP requirement. So we want to know if there is way we can introduce the some spec, some informations for IB in the VMI status.
I see. So maybe your scenario is a bit different. So how about opening, I don't know if you already did it, opening an issue, like a enhancement request, so we can just understand what you are more or less suggesting or need, and what is the scenario. And then maybe we can either integrate it in the web that is planned, or there will be a need to discuss it and maybe create another web. I have no idea. But
Eddie,
in general, yeah. So,
yeah, sorry for cutting you. Are we speaking about InfiniBand?
Yeah.
But Eddie, are you on the same? Like,
yeah, I understand that I like don't understand completely what is required, but and I don't know if InfiniBand plays the role here. And I can, or the only thing that I could have done here and just say, have you considered using the binding plugin? But I'm a bit, I don't know the information in order to recommend anything.
and I'm wondering if there's a. So I know that InfiniBand devices are being configured with um, this InfiniBand configuration. I already forgot the CRD name, but there is a CRD to configure InfiniBand devices that are being crafted with SRAV. And from my understanding, and Eddie, you've been looking into this, that when we configure this with the network attachment definition and together with this SRV configuration and InfiniBand involved, that this doesn't work with properly with VMs. But from my point of view, all of this can be hidden away from KubeVirt using this third-party CRD. Or am I off here?
I think that we currently we can use the SRV interfaces to for the infinite band because currently we only consider the PF. So which means the infinite band device will be passed through as a hosted device so using the SRV DP. But the thing is, in the KubeVirt, so the current KubeVirt solutions cannot identify this is a infinite band, and going for a normal SRV VF processing loop. So that is not what we expected. So I'm wondering if it is possible to introduce a new type just for infinite band so that it can be identified and isolated.
Yeah, so the type exactly is the plugins. So if you can use the plugins, then you'll have the solution external. Having like we tried to avoid, we actually took out some types because we saw that it's overloading us in terms of maintenance and complexity. So the plugin infrastructure was introduced so everyone can add their own types externally. So if that could help you, then it will be great. But I don't know if it will solve all your problems. Like if you need more information, we can do you know about the binding plugins that were introduced?
You mean the device plugin or any?
No. I will put here a link. Okay, one sec.
All right. Let's move on then. Perhaps we can
Hey,
take it offline. Yeah.
sorry, I had just had one clarification question for Eddie. Um, so let's assume that there will be network devices out there that want to use uh, DRA plugin, or that has a DRA plugin implementation and want to get integrated into KubeVirt via DRA. How do you think network binding plugins will interact with DRA device? Is something that is possible, or um, we would shy away from that?
I think there is no currently there is no direct interaction with I think currently there is no direct interaction with, even with device plugins, so I guess it's the same. It's up to it's like a package of the plugin, like so the plugin can come with a package like the SRV one. It will come with a driver for DRA for whatever you want, and it comes together. So and then you will deploy possibly CNIs, network attachment definitions. You can inject sidecars. You can so all this stuff you can inject it. You can inject the webhooks. So in that plugin package, that's it. So if that works, then great. If that doesn't work and we are missing something that is not possible, then we can consider integrating.
Sorry, my question was, I know currently there is no one doing stuff like that. I'm just wondering if the plugin infrastructure is in place to have an ability to do like a device plugin or a DRA plugin, and get the network device plumbed into the VM. Yeah, I was
No,
more
that's
curious on that.
yeah. It's not. It's the only thing. It's up to the one that deploys that plugin, that register it and everything, to deploy all the things that are necessary. So deploying the device plugin, DRA, whatever you need, it should that external thing should do.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
We have
I
much
think,
time. Sorry.
yeah, I think the network plugin, binding plugins could be possible solutions for us. I'm looking to that. Yeah, thank you.
What I would suggest is that maybe you guys can set up a separate call just to discuss everything in details. But yeah, right now we have only 3 minutes left to this call, so let's move on. And I see that Adi, you have a PR that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't mind introducing it real quick. So this PR fixes an issue where we currently allow no drain evictions of hot plug pods, and that's problematic with some CSI drivers as it causes the hot plug disks to become unavailable, and that consequently fails the associated VM's live migration because it just pauses due to IO errors. Now, I do have an LGTM from Federico right now, and I do need an approver for that PR, so that would be very much appreciated. If you want to take a look.
Thank you.
Yeah, apologies. I mean, I think I did give a verbal approve, but didn't get to the review, so apologies for that.
No worries, thank you.
I see there is also that they're going to be. What is this? Do you know, Vladik, Lubo?
It's just a couple noteworthy mailing list items. Just a new Kubernetes lane and the 1.6 release today.
Oh, this is 134. Nice.
Yeah, and there are already the results from the periodic, and it seems quite okay.
You want to update, Lobo?
Yeah, so because we had to postpone the last time because of the 143 issues and other issues, and we actually did only first RC. I tend to follow the plan and did a second RC on the last Wednesday, I believe, or Thursday, and so today is the new release date, and that should be good finally.
Okay, so we can celebrate today. Okay, I think we reached the time limit. Is there anything else that we need to raise?
Yeah, I added a last minute quick topic. On the SIG storage call this week, we had this VEP raised, and we did some bookkeeping on it. We changed some labels, messed around with the dashboard. I just wanted to know if there's like something else we need to do to like commit to it for the 1.7 cycle.
No, I think if it's tracked in the tracker, there's nothing else needed from my point of view.
Okay, thank you.
Just to reach the web freeze.
Yep.
Okay, I think we are over time. So
Yep. Let's jump over to compute meeting.
thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
See you. Bye bye.